Welcome to my NFL Week 12 picks video. I invite you to play along and post your picks in the comments section. Last week I was a respectable 10-4 straight up, but only 6-8 against the spread. Let's see how I do this week. The NFL gave us 3 great division rivalries on Thanksgiving, starting with Packers and Lions. Detroit is a 7.5 point favorite and over-under is 47.5. The playoffs are on the line for the Packers. With a win, they would be a half game behind Minnesota for the final playoff spot, and they still play the Vikings one more time this year. Detroit occupies the 2 seed in the NFC and can afford a loss here, but I doubt that happens. The game is closer than experts think, but I got the Lions on top. Detroit 27, Green Bay 21. Next on the Thanksgiving docket is Washington traveling to Dallas to play the Cowboys. Dallas is a massive 11-point favorite and over-under is 48.5. Dallas has been absolutely dominant at home this year. They are 4-0 with the average score being 40 to 12.5. Washington won't win, but they buck the trend and keep it close. Cowboys 31, Commanders 25. The final Thanksgiving game is a good one as San Francisco travels to Seattle to play the Seahawks. Seattle's a 6.5 point home dog and over-under is 43. Thanks to a 2-game win streak and a Seattle loss, San Francisco is back alone on top of the NFC West. As I am making this video, Geno Smith and Kenneth Walker are questionable. In my opinion, it doesn't matter, and San Francisco will win and cover. I got the 49ers 31, Seattle 20. Just a friendly reminder that subscribers to Dan Talks Football are over 783% less likely to get hit by an asteroid than people who don't subscribe. This holiday season, don't risk getting hit by an asteroid. Hit that subscribe button instead. Now, back to the picks. The NFL released its first ever Black Friday game with Miami traveling to New York to play the Jets. New York is a massive 10-point home dog and over-under is 40. The Jets will roll with Tim Boyle as the starting quarterback while Miami is trying to stay ahead of Buffalo in the AFC race. The Jets defense will play well enough to cover, but the Dolphins get the win. I got Miami 23, New York 18. Now for some afternoon delight as we start off Sunday with one of my all-time favorite rivalries. The Saints travel to Atlanta to play the Falcons. Atlanta's a 1-point home dog and the over-under is 42. Derek Carr is in concussion protocol as I'm making this video and is unknown if he's going to start or not. Desmond Ridder is back as the starting quarterback in Atlanta and both teams are fresh off a bye. While I like the Saints team better, I'm taking the home dog in Atlanta. I got Falcons 24, Saints 20. Next up is New England traveling to New York to play the Giants. The Giants are a 3.5 point home dog and the over-under is 33.5. As I am making this video, it's unknown who the starting quarterback in New England is going to be. The Giants are going to go with Tommy DeVito again this week, but I don't think it really matters. I'm taking the Patriots in a low-scoring one. New England 20, New York 14. Next up, we have Carolina traveling to Tennessee to play the Titans. Tennessee is a 3.5 point favorite and over-under is 37. Last year, Levis and Young were both in the SEC. Now they're both trying to get their teams out of 3-game losing streaks. I'll take Tennessee here. Give me the Titans 22, Panthers 17. Next up is a big AFC North rivalry as Pittsburgh invades Cincinnati to play the Bengals. Cincy is a 1-point home dog and the over-under is 34.5. Pittsburgh at 6-4 is currently holding the final wildcard spot in the AFC, while the Bengals at 5-5 is still very much alive in the playoff hunt even without Burrow. However, no Burrow, no win. I got Steelers 19, Bengals 17. Next up is the Bucks traveling to Indy to play the Colts. Indy is a 2.5 point favorite and the over-under is 43.5. The Colts winners of 2 straight are fresh off a bye, while the Bucks at 4-6 are only 1 game out of the NFC South lead. This is going to be a fun game, but I like the Colts fresh off a bye here. I got Indy 23, Bucks 19. Next up is a huge AFC South battle with with the Jags traveling to Houston to play the Texans. Houston's a 1.5-point home dog and the over-under is 48.5. This game is massive with Jacksonville holding a one-game lead in the AFC South over the Texans. Week 3, Houston traveled to Jacksonville and destroyed the Jags 37-17. With a win and a sweep, Houston would possess the lead in the AFC South. Jacksonville with the win has a chance for the 1 seed in the AFC and a 2-game lead in the South. Fun fact, Jacksonville is the only undefeated team on the road left this year. A perfect 4-0. That streak will continue. Jags 31, Texans 27. We start the late games with an NFC West showdown with the Rams traveling to the desert to play the Cardinals. Arizona's a 1-point home dog and the over-under is 44.5. With a sweep of the Seahawks last week, the Rams at 4-6 still have a chance at a wild card berth. Arizona with Kyler Murray returning is playing a lot better and would love to destroy the Rams' slim playoff hopes. This game is close, but I like the Rams. Give me LA 24, Arizona 22. Next up is Cleveland traveling to Denver to play the Broncos. Denver is a 2.5-point favorite and over-under is 35.5. Both teams are coming off of big wins last week and are fighting for the playoffs. The Denver Broncos might be the NFL's best story with an AFC best 4-game winning streak. Once 1-5 with a win Sunday will have a winning record and is right back in the playoff hunt. Dorian Thompson-Robinson was the best story in preseason this year with his excellent play that earned a backup spot, and with Watson's injury, a starting job in the NFL. Not bad for a 5th-round pick. I'm pulling for DTR, but I'm going to bet on the Broncos. I got Denver 15, Cleveland 12. Next up is a huge interconference matchup with Buffalo traveling to Philly to play the Eagles. Philly's a 3.5-point favorite and the over-under is 48.5. With a huge win on Monday night, Philly at 9-1 is on top of the NFL, while Buffalo at 6-5 is currently the 8th seed, which means that if the playoffs started today, the Bills would stay home. Buffalo needs this win more and will come ready to play, but Philly is too tough. I got Eagles 27, Bills 23. Next up is an old school AFC West showdown with the Chiefs invading Vegas to play the Raiders. Vegas is a massive 9.5-point home dog and the over-under is 43.5. The Chiefs dropped one on Monday night, and while tied for the best record in the AFC with a loss, would only be 1 game ahead of Denver, who I predict will win this weekend. The Raiders under new head coach Antonio Pierce is playing much better and will cover the spread, but the Chiefs still get the win. I got Kansas City 25, Vegas 16. We got a good one Sunday night as Baltimore travels cross country to LA to play the Chargers. LA is a 3.5-point home dog and the over-under is 47. The Ravens, who get their bye next week, has the most wins in the AFC and currently occupies the 1 seed. They need this win in hopes of getting that all-important first-round bye in the playoffs. The Chargers also dropped a game this weekend, and at 4-6, Brandon Staley is on the hot seat. That seat will continue to heat up because I got the Ravens 31, Chargers 21. We end the week on Monday night with an old-school NFC North rivalry. The Bears travel to Minnesota to play the Vikings. Minnesota's a 3.5-point favorite and the over-under is 43. Both teams blew late leads last week, but while Minnesota still holds the final playoff spot in the NFC, Chicago is looking forward to the draft. If the draft were held today, the Bears would pick 1st and 5th in the draft. And this draft is loaded with quarterbacks, so the pressure is on Justin Fields to produce. There is not a better story this season than Josh Dobbs, and even with a loss last week, he is still in position to quarterback the Vikings into the playoffs. The Vikings playoff hopes will stay alive after Monday night. I got Minnesota 24, Chicago 20. If you are new to betting on football, check out my tutorial video here. This video will help you understand point spreads and how to bet on an NFL game. Don't forget, I go live every Tuesday and Friday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. On the live stream, all questions are answered and anything goes. Good luck this week, and I hope to see you again very soon.